I was thinking maybe I ought to start doing some quick bike checks on some of the bikes that I already own. For instance, this Yeti right here. This is my 2019 Yeti SB 150. Bought this bike new. I'm the original owner. Bought it 2 years ago. Been using it since. This is my main trail riding bike. This is the GX comp model, which is the lowest end model. And you know, it's been holding up really well. This is a full 29er model, of course. Came with a Fox 36 out front. The newer models come standard with a Fox 38. And because this is the lower end model, mine came with a DPX2 shock. Higher end models come stock with an X2. And frankly, I'm finding that I prefer the lower end Fox suspensions just because it's a lot simpler to set up. You only have an on and off switch. I don't really care much about the high speed, low speed compression, and definitely not the high speed, low speed rebound adjustments. So this works out for me, and it's plush enough, it's active enough, it's got plenty of traction on the trail. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today here at Rockville Regional Hills. The hills are green, dirt's nice and loamy. Since we're here in California, we've been dealing with this pesky drought the last couple of years, but luckily we've had some rain about a week or so ago, and so the last time we were at Rockville, this lake is actually dry, so it's nice to finally see some water. This is a 150 mil travel bike with a 170 fork. Really steep seat tube angle, 77-degree seat tube angle, 64.5 head tube angle, and 460 reach on a medium. I'm 5'7" with a 30-inch inseam, and medium fits me perfectly. I've kept this bike fairly stock, I would say, except with the touch point areas, handlebar, stem, and actually saddle I ended up keeping. I did replace the pedals to T-Mac, DAT T-Max, which are fantastic pedals, by the way. The Yeti SB 150, or actually any Yetis for that matter, they're really known for their pedaling platform. Super efficient. This bike is fairly heavy with pedals and an extra tube strapped in the frame. Weighs about 35 pounds, but it pedals really, really well. It's very efficient. You don't get any bob. I pretty much just leave the suspension open at all times. I never touch my compression. Just leave it wide open, and it feels great. It pedals like a really heavy hardtail. This bike is absolutely planted. It's very fast. I'm not a fast rider, so obviously can't do it justice, but obviously it works really well for Richie Rude. This bike has podiumed many a times in the EWS circuits. Rocky Bits here. Hence the name Rockville, right? Yeah. Fun stuff. Keeps you on your toes. This part right here is kind of tricky, but it's pretty clean. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Woo.
Oh, just ripped it.
Yeah, man. Woo. Yeah. Let's go, Patrick. Yeah. Yeah. Suave. All right, Dan. Dan the man. You. Oh. Yeah, you got this, boy. Woo. So the bike came with a SRAM GX build. I mean, really stood the test of time. I never had any issues with the shifting. Still running the original chain. Cassette's still in great shape. Had to replace the pads a couple of times, but that's about it. Dude, so beautiful out here today. I keep saying that, but it is true. Not very often that you see this hills green like this, you know? Bought this bike in 2019. It's pretty much cutting edge back then. It's one of the first ones that did super slack and super steep C-tube angle, super slack head tube and then steep C-tube with a long reach. And frankly, some of the newer bikes right now are just catching up to it. Stable. Stable, that's what this bike is. Stable and planted and fast. Rock smashing. Here you go. This is what this bike's built for. Smashing rocks. Smash some rocks. Here you go. Woo. No line. Pick any line and hit smash. Awesome. Oh yeah. Smash the rocks. Smash. Smash. Yeah. Every time I pick up this bike, man, it's all smiles. All smiles. Smash. Woo! I love it. There you go. There you go. That's what really makes this bike special. Yeah. That's my favorite part, man. All right, just got back from Rockville. Another crazy, beautiful day. Out riding with my friends, and let's talk a little bit about the Yeti. My 2019 Yeti SB 150. I've had this bike 2 years now, and it's my main kind of do-it-all bike. Well, long story short, I'm still pretty stoked with this bike, man. It's still my one. Yeah, I would say it's definitely my favorite bike still. It can do trails, it can do the climbs. It's amazing on the descents. The bike held up pretty well. Like I said, this is a lower end build, but I really didn't feel any need to upgrade any components. I just plan on riding the heck out of it, and once the components break, I'll replace them or maybe upgrade. So the way I have this bike set up currently, I am running a 780 DET riser bar with a DET copperhead stem that I just think it looks pretty dope. I like how it looks, and it seems pretty burly. Worked out for me. I've kept the Fox 36 with the Fit Grip damper. Serves me well. I don't have any complaints. The fork is plush enough and simple enough to dial in. Same thing with the shock. The shock is a DPX2. No nonsense, just pretty standard shock. Pretty plush enough. I've kept the standard saddle. The dropper is still the Fox transfer that came with the bike. Again, reliable. It's starting to develop a little bit of play, so I need to get that serviced, or maybe I can just kind of take it apart and clean it a little bit. SRAM GX components are pretty solid. Still ships really well. Don't have any problems there. I did replace the cranks to a 165 just for personal preference. I think it came with a 175 mil crank. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Switch Infinity. I don't think it requires a whole lot of maintenance, really. The only thing you need to do is get one of those Yeti grease gun, and you can just kind of, there's a port on the other side that just allows you to push some grease on it, and that's all you really need to do. I do that about twice a year, and so far it's doing really well. So I did upgrade brakes on this bike. It came stock with SRAM guide brakes. I wanted just a little bit more heavy duty brakes, so I ended up opting for the SRAM Code Rs, and then I also put some sintered brake pads on it. So that's a pretty good combo, and it works really well. I'm still running the stock DT Swiss 1900 rims and stock hubs. Everything is pretty stock on this bike. I did upgrade the 3-pawl system of the DT Swiss 370 to the Star Ratchet with the 54 teeth. I primarily did it for the sound. I like that really loud Angry Bee sound. Other than that, I mean, the stock was fine, really. So there she is, my 2019 Yeti SB 150 Enduro bike. Love this bike. I plan on riding the heck out of this bike until she starts falling apart. I don't expect that to happen, obviously, because it's got a lifetime warranty. But it's a great bike, burly, capable. A little bit on the heavy side, but it's totally fine because she pedals really well. And she definitely rewards you on the descents. You'll just feel completely planted, composed, and just gonna have a great time all over. I mean, just this ride's been to Dannyville and North Star and Santa Cruz, UC, just all over here in the Bay Area, and I'm still loving it. I'm not really at this point inclined to look at any of the newer bikes that are coming out. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments, and I'll just catch you guys out in the trails.